himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Nuroff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Hayes deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. Medeiros is going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the Radical Sim Racers SR10 Americas. Here I am, James Parfitt, going to be guiding you through all the action. We've got about a minute and a half left of qualifying at the moment. We can briefly show you the championship standings currently as they are. Franco Sanchez out in front of 247, Eric Harmon on 234. They are the main protagonists for the championship fight in the pros. In the AMs, we have got a tie with Joe Jacklin and Richard Hearn, and at the moment it is Richard Hearn ahead of Joe Jacklin currently in qualifying. That's going to be an interesting one. We'll keep an eye on that one. In the pros, Virtual Racing Peru have pretty much wrapped up the title on 577 with Virtual Racing Peru 2 on 484. In the AMs, we have got Lima Racing on 288 with Virtual Racing Peru 3 on 262 with Elite West Racing on 244. That is the current championship for standings. We've got half an hour here at Bathurst for these guys to try and wrap this up. Who's going to win between Joe Jacklin and Eric Harmon? Well, time is only going to tell here as well. We've got quite a short field. We've only got 9 drivers on track at the moment, and it's gonna hopefully, well, maybe be exciting, but we will see as this evening goes on how this works out. In the AMs, Joe Jacklin, Richard Hearn. That's the fight we're going to be keeping an eye on here as well, and hopefully we will have a nice, clean fight. Here is the grid. Eric Harmon out in front with Rafael Blanco second, Franco Sanchez in first, Christian Vizcarra, then you got Richard Hearn, Philip Weil, Joe Jacklin, Andrew Sidup, and John Benawalid. So there you go, that is the 9 cars on track, ready to go here, and, you know, optimistic, I think, would be the terminology. I think it's, you know, we'll see how we get on and see how close this becomes and whether or not Richard Hearn and Joe Jacklin will take the AM Championships. To be honest with you, I've got a funny feeling Franco Sanchez is probably already going to wrap this one up, sitting in third at the moment. So let's see what happens here and see how it goes. I think that's Richie, all we can do. Good evening, Ria. Good evening, CJ. Hope you are well here. So thanks so much for joining us on this one. It's a very low field, 9 cars on track, and Richard Hearn is separated by Philip Wire away from Joe Jacklin. We've got about 55 seconds remaining, so let's see how this one turns out. I think that's literally all we can do here as we are at Bathurst, and it is a very, very tricky circuit. I think anybody who's driven Bathurst will know the walls will bite you up through that mountain section, and they will come after you as well. You make one mistake, you slide it round, the wall's going to say hello. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, going to be tough for these guys as everyone is on track currently. The lights are on, and away we will be going. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are green, green, green. Eric Harmon has taken that lead with Rafael Blanco in second. Franco Sanchez is in third. Richard Hearn in fourth. Viscara, Wyatt in at Benawalid, and Joel Jacqueline down 2 positions at the back of the field in a moment, but it is Eric Harmon leading us away here for the first lap as he's going down the straight into turn 1. He's going to be down on the right hand side. Richard Hearn and Christian Viscara there beside him. Richard Hearn in the yellow and blue, of course, and Philip Wyatt behind that with Andrus Inop also chasing him down as well. Let's have a look and see how this one happens. Big lock up from Richie Hearn as he goes around turn 2 and up through the mountain section we go for the very first time here this evening. And you can see the cars here fighting their way up through the mountain, and Eric Harmon is out in front with Rafael Blanco and Franco Sanchez in second and third respectively. Then you've got Christian Viscara as they're going to go plummet down through the mountain section for the first time, and let's see if they can all make it through. And touchwood, currently at the moment everyone has made it through the first part of this. Down through this dipper into Forest Elbow we go, the left-hander, and down onto Conrod Straight. That long one down, this is where the draft's going to play a massive effect here, as Benawalid looks like he gets a little bit out of shape with Joel Jacqueline, who needs to finish ahead of Richard Hearn. Whoever finishes in front of each other will take the AM standings. Viscara and also Franco Sanchez battling away here. Down you go. Into the left, right of the chase. Go left, take the curb on the exit if you can, and then once more you tuck in behind all the way down into Murray's. Rafael Blanco here in Murray's going left. He's got to get a look at getting on the gas early, look at trying to go past Eric Harmon and trying to make that move. Harmon on the 202.421, everyone else a little bit further back than that. Into turn 1 again, once more we go into Hell Corner, and then we're coming up into turn 2. Viscara still tucked up for behind Sanchez at the moment here on lap 2. 27 minutes on the clock. It's not going to be a 10-lap race, guys. I don't believe we're going to get that amount out here, especially on the 202 lap times. Joel Jacqueline is up behind Inop and Benawalid. He's trying to go on the right-hand side here. I think this is a bad move. You don't want to be jeopardising your championship standings here as well for Joel Jacqueline. He needs to settle in. Round we go. Off and we start our run up through the mountain section. We've got to be going right, keeping the gas on as much as we possibly can. Then we're going to go left, drop down over the little dip, run it, let it run wide. It's a very tight line by Jacqueline there, and then we've got to be careful coming down here. Down the hill we go. We don't want to hit that inside curb too early, otherwise we're going to do this. Joel Jacqueline doing exactly what we didn't want him to do. There's a big old lock up in front from Benawalid there. Andrus Inop tucked right behind him as these guys going down into Forest Elbow. You can see with Inop, he's on that inside line, tucks it in, leans his head, and away we go once more. Eric Harmon still out in front, Rafael Blanco second, Sanchez in third, Viscara in fourth. Viscara's not really pressurising Sanchez. He should be able to make that move now though. He's got the inside line. In goes Sanchez we go, and now Viscara has gone past Sanchez, coming down the Conrod into the chase. So going to go left, right, and then down into Murray's for the final final corner. Richard Hearn tucked up behind Philip Wyatt at the moment. It's a pro-am split, and Richard Hearn leading the AMs. He's just got to finish in front of Joel Jacqueline. Andrus Inop entered into the pit lane for some reason there, and unfortunately for Inop it looks like his race could be done already, which I'm quite surprised about, to be honest. But Richard Hearn now, I'm going to go at Philip Wyatt. You've got to leave him room on the left hand side. Richard Hearn does pull out and now goes past Philip Wyatt, who picks 2 cars between himself and Joel Jacklin. Philip Wyatt, John Bellenwalid, then we've got Joel Jacklin behind that as well. Inop has stopped, he's back out again, so Andrew Inop is running. Inop pits, I wonder if it was a penalty. Yeah, he might have had a jump start there. We can have a look back and see if Andrew Inop... But to be honest with you though, CJ, the time that he stopped isn't really long enough, so I don't think he got that then. If you look at me, he's at your back left corner, the lights are out, he goes exactly the same time. So I'm not too sure what happened to Andresen up there as well. Does he take a knock and he maybe had a little bit of damage going round turn 1? Nothing at the moment. You see Joel Jacklin got an absolute terrible start there and is now up behind Banawali, 1.2 seconds. Vizcarra has got Sanchez tucked up behind him. Round the Forest Elbow we go for the 3rd time here as well. So let's see what develops coming down this long old Conrod straight. Richard Hearn's got Philip Wyatt closing in on him as well. You can see the draft is strong regardless of your distance. Sanchez and Vizcarra. Sanchez is going to close up now as well. Round the right hander we go, drop down the hill into that chase. Wyatt, is he going to be able to make a move over Richie Hearn? Hearn goes on the defense, which to be honest, from Hearn's point of view, the fact that he's only got to follow the finish in front of Jacklin, I wouldn't really fight Wyatt, and because really you got no need. As long as you finish in front of Joe Jacklin, you've won, right? Or I don't think there's anything Jacklin's going to be able to do here. He's already been off the side of the circuit, so he's already got a 1x. So, you know, it seems a bit crazy from Richard Hearn to be fighting with Wyatt. I wouldn't really worry too much, but Sanchez is still trying to get past Vizcarra here as well. He's got Harmon out in front, Sanchez in 4th. Eric Harmon, of course, is currently about 13 points back here, so where he is at the moment isn't going to make a difference. He is not going to be able to overtake Franco Sanchez. The gap is not that far, so he's not going to be able to do it. I think Sanchez is still going to take that win and is still going to come out being the pro champion. I don't think I'm incorrect on that. I'm pretty sure I am right. So he's not going to be able to get through. 50, 48, 46, 44, so it's only 6 points difference. Yeah, he's not going to be able to overtake. Harmon can go and win, and Sanchez, well, to be honest, unless something drastic happens to Sanchez here, there's nothing Harmon can do. It's all about what Sanchez is going to be able to do. Harmon has to just go and win, and to be honest, for Richie Hearn, I wouldn't even worry about Philip Wyatt at the moment. You're still leading the arms. You're still about 2.5 seconds, if not more. Joe Jacklin is currently 4.5 seconds back. So for Richard Hearn, he's just got to stay in front of Jacklin. That's it. Harmon has to finish at least 3rd for a tie in pros to be a possibility. No. Harmon's already behind Hearn. Harmon's on 2.34. Sanchez is on 2.47. They of course get the maximum of 50 for the win, and then it goes down from there, and it doesn't matter if Harmon wins, and Sanchez would need to basically finish to be 13 points away. Sanchez would need to finish down in 8th. And at the moment Sanchez is going to get 44, which will put him on 291. Harmon's going to get 50, which is going to put him on 284. So from Harmon's point of view, it isn't going to really matter too much. He's doing what he needs to do and go and win, but he needs Sanchez to have a DNF pretty much with 20 minutes remaining. I can't see that happening. Right, back at the action. Hearn chasing down Wyatt. Vizcarra being chased down by Sanchez. Sanchez drops to the right. He's going to go to the left in 2nd gear. Spin it round the right hand and down into Forest Elbow. Onto the brakes he goes. Round Forest Elbow once more. And off again goes down that Conrod straight once more. Just trying to have a look at drop weeks. I think that even at the worst week that Sanchez has got drop is at 40. Here, Harmon is on a 0. I don't think that would be making a massive difference. I've got to be honest. I've got a funny feeling it is going to be Sanchez is going to wrap it up, I believe. So, it's going to be interesting regardless to see how it all pans out, but I don't think it's going to make a difference for Harmon. I've got to be honest. But there you go. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. As Sanchez now, Harmon's on the defense there as well. You saw Harmon go all the way to the right as he's coming into turn 1, into turn 2, sorry. And then we're going to go up here as well. James, I like to imagine the organising, you have to know these things for all the leagues. I imagine a big binder with labels and splits and stuff. Well, I have to be honest with you, Rio. You're not wrong. There's 2 big binders filled up with league information currently at the moment as well. So the spreadsheets are nearly coming to the end due to the fact, obviously, this round is the last round here. So yeah, it's interesting to say the least, I think, to be fair, when we're doing something like this. And how we maintain the knowledge that we maintain is basically just prep, and that's pretty much all we do as broadcasters and commentators, is just prep up and make sure we're fully aware of what is going to be happening. And as I say, I think at the moment, even with the drop weeks added, he's still going to be on 247. Before the drop weeks, Harmon's going to drop 2 zeros, which is going to put him on 234. Sanchez is on 327. He's going to lose 80 as 2 drop weeks, which is going to put him on 247. So yeah, Harmon can go win and Sanchez can stay where he is, and Sanchez will be the winner. In the AMs, they're tied, of course, because of their drop weeks. They've 48 for Hearn, and he's got 52 for Jacqueline, which puts them on 196 apiece. So it's whoever finishes in front with the other one at the moment. So Richard Hearn now has lost that position, and Joel Jacqueline is there. Richard Hearn is up behind Ben Walid, so Hearn's got to try and finish in front of Jacqueline. So there you go. You guys do a great job. Thank you very much for that as well. Much appreciated for that one. You're becoming a bit of a regular here, Ria, as well. You're almost joining Phil across the pond, because Phil comes in all the time for the Europeans, and you just come in all the time. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's great to see regular people in chat, to be honest, because then you can have a nice little conversation with them and get to know them and how they are and all about their day and everything else. So it's nice to have regulars in chat as well, so that we can talk to, especially when you're doing a solo comms. You can have a bit of a conversation. As you see, Ben Awala taking a bit of the right hand corner off that Lightning McQueen SR10 and sparking it against the wall here. Jacqueline's about 7 seconds, and this is why. For Joe Jacqueline, he gets out of shape running down into Forest Elbow, I think, and unfortunately into the barrier. So that, my dear, is what is just about to send off Jacqueline out of the standings. I think it's now all got to be about Richard Hearn. He's just got to keep it on track. Rafael Blanco up behind Harmon. As I say, unless something dangerous happens to Harmon here, Sanchez should wrap up the pro standings. Jacqueline has an issue. That might be the championship over right there. It is over. As I say, unless Richard Hearn does something crazy with Ben Walid and maybe they come together, that's about the issue you're going to get there as well. CJ's always in the Americas. He loves a good old American SR10, don't you, CJ? Rio, as often as I can. Yeah, it's great to see you in here, I'm not going to lie, as well. You know, the virtual world of motorsports that we live and breathe on a daily basis, where I end up being awake at all times of the day and I don't know. Don't forget, guys, as well, please give the video a big old thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. If you got any comments as well, then you want to leave them on the comment section below, that will also be very, very helpful for us, and let us know how we're doing here at the JPB YouTube channel. And we've just had Biggles and Alex finishing off a Gen 4 series from Nashville Super Speedway. So if you like your Gen 4s, Biggles and Alex there did an absolute incredible job picking up the Chop Shop 200 miles of Nashville. So yeah, they did an absolutely amazing job with that one while I'm here doing the SR10 Americas, of course. Ben Walid still tucked up behind Wyatt. Vizcara is currently still got Sanchez right behind him as well. And you can see the leaders in front. I think for Sanchez, it's all about being able to keep it on track. For Vizcara, the last thing these two want to do is have an issue with each other. We have seen it before with the virtual racing Peru guys. I'm sure there was a nice little debrief about who did what and how and where and when and who was responsible for the team coming together. But either way, Sanchez cannot afford to drop down. He's got to be at least 8th. So unless he has a major dramatic moment, I think for Sanchez, it's all done and dusted. He should go past Vizcara. Yeah, I'm not. I do wonder whether or not that's such a good idea. What about Richard Hearn and Wyatt and Ben Walid are side by side? You see Ben Walid just in the bottom right of your screen there. He's going to have to tighten up this corner where Wyatt can open it up a little bit more and try and get the run up the hill, of course, onto the left. We're going to start braking in a straight line now. We've got to try and get that car stopped, and it's not the most easiest thing at Bathurst, especially as you're going around turn 3. It's an uphill braking zone. It rotates to the left as well. It's not an ideal scenario. People don't like braking and turning at the same time, and that's why you've got to open it up and try and turn it, brake it on a straight line, because it is also very, very tough, and they don't want to catch that curb on the right hand side, because literally you will be stuck to it like Velcro. You're giving a little hurry up just isn't worth it. What's at stake? Exactly. And you can see Richard Hearn, he's just made a mistake there coming down the hill as well. And for him, he's literally just got to keep it on track. Jacqueline is literally 11.5 seconds back. And for Hearn, there's nothing at stake now. He's got 12 minutes, and all he's really got to do is just finish behind. And Sanchez has just got to finish where he is. Harmon's done what he needed to do, right? He's gone out and he's looking at taking this victory, and he's looking at taking the win. Standing-wise, for Harmon, ain't going to make a difference. You know, you need Sanchez down in 8th, and Sanchez at the moment is not hitting 8th. Nice, easy ride, and you're fine. It's okay to lose some time behind someone in the position. Yeah, he's just got to be smart about it, and the same for this man. You know, you're leading the AM championship now, right? You're drawing going in, but at the end of the day, it's going to put you ahead of the man that's 10 seconds back. And for Joel Jacqueline, he's just not had the pace this evening to keep up with the guys in front. And unfortunately, it is kind of what it is for Eric Harmon, for Richard Hearn here this evening, to be fair, because he's just got to keep it on track, as has Sanchez. And the thing is, though, with Bathurst is if you don't attack Bathurst, it will kind of eat you up and spit you out. It's a very bizarre circuit, because I find the more I try and take this at caution level, the more mistakes I make, and I end up in certain parts of the wall, right? And you've got to be a little bit sensible. And the same for Richard Hearn. He's got to go into this with mentality that he's got to attack Bathurst in a way, because if he doesn't attack Bathurst, he's going to end up struggling once more. So from Hearn's point of view, got to attack it, get it down there, get it stopped, go right, go left, and off we go. And for Benawalid and Wyatt, well, they're swapping places here as well. Blanco close to Harmon, so there might be pressure than which Harmon might feel a little bit more. Maybe. The only thing for Harmon's really got to try and do is finish ahead of Sanchez, right, which is what he's doing. Even if he goes down to second, he's still ahead of Sanchez. But Sanchez needs to be in 8th, you know, for Harmon to even remotely make a difference. And if he's not in 8th, it's not going to matter. Harmon can go and do what he needs to do, and Sanchez can do what he needs to do, or Harmon can just put it in the wall, and that's pretty much it. Game over, I think, for Eric Harmon, who spins it up and puts it in the wall. So Eric Harmon there, unfortunately, front right tyre not rotating, damage is going to be a premium, and now it is just Franco Sanchez is done. It looks like the people that were in the fight have dropped away. Joel Jacquelin's not making impressions on Richie Hearn. Eric Harmon, after leading, has gone and jumped to the pits and has stuck it in the wall. So unfortunately for Eric Harmon, game over. You're not going to matter. It's not going to happen. Season ending crash right there for Herman. Yep. Done and dusted. And I think you're looking at Franco Sanchez is going to go and win the pros, and Joel and Richard Hearn is going to go and win the AMs. Unless something happens. Chat curse this time. Yeah, you can't blame me for that one. I'm not being responsible for that. You were just saying how nice and easy they've got to take it, Rhea, and then they take it nice and easy, and this is what I said. When you don't attack Bathurst, you end up struggling. And Harmon knows it. He's quit. He's out. Harmon's down in 9th. That's it now. Sanchez has literally just got to keep it on track. So yeah, very short and sweet, 22 minutes in, and both championships are finished, pretty much. But depends, obviously, for this man. He's the only one who can really now blow his own championship standings. It's all in the hands of Richard Hearn. If he goes and keeps it on track and keeps it nice and clean, done and dusted, I think. So, yeah. Let's see how the next 8 minutes goes, but there's no real pressure on Richard Hearn. He's 13 seconds in front. He's 4 seconds back from Wyatt. You know, the only pressure is Wyatt having to go with Benawalid there. So let's see how this one turns out. But at the moment, Benawalid in that Lightning McQueen liveried car, of course. If you've got children, you will know that this is quite a famous livery. The number 95 of Lightning McQueen. Of course, we're looking at the number 3 of Benawalid. He scraped the wall on the right-hand side, but we did see taking some paint off there. And if anybody's got kids, you will know how famous Lightning McQueen is. And for me, I've watched that film a bundle of times. My second oldest boy, who's 12, when he was a kid, and if he ever got ill, we used to be downstairs watching Disney Cars, and I must have watched that film bucket loads of times. And you know, now, even when he's ill now, he still goes downstairs and watches Cars, and he's 12. So when he's quite prone to tonsillitis, is my son. So when he gets tonsillitis, he goes downstairs and watches Disney Cars. So there we go. That is it. Championships are wrapped up really in conjunction. Now, Hearn's got to keep it on track, but you think you're looking at your pro winner, Franco Sanchez. As I say, he had to finish lower than 8th, and now he is in 3rd, and he's just got to keep it on track. That's pretty much it. That's a cute ritual. Easy for me to say. It is really, when you think about it. He's 12. You know, the 12-year-olds shouldn't be, you know, in his eyes, don't watch cartoons, but he still goes downstairs and watches Lightning McQueen when he's got tonsillitis, which at the moment it does happen quite a lot. But according to the doctors, you need to have it 7 times a year for them to take your tonsils out. So there we go. Yeah, Richard Hearn now 14 seconds to Jacqueline. Just keep it on track, Richie Hearn. It's all done and dusted. Right. Well, it's a bit of a tough one at the moment, guys. I'm not going to lie, because everybody's quite spread out here. And it's really about this man and this man just keeping their cars on track. Lima Racing are currently John Benawalid. They're leading the AM teams on 208 with Virtual Racing Peru 3, which is Andres Inop. So as long as Benawalid stays where he is, that's the AM Championship wrapped up as well. Virtual Racing Peru 1, which is Benavides and Sanchez, have got Virtual Racing Peru 2, which is Vizcarra and Puyo. Well, Vizcarra isn't going to be able to overturn that gap, especially the fact that Sanchez is not right behind him. So that's pretty much the pro teams wrapped up here as well currently. So we've got the AM teams, the pro teams, the AM Championship and the Pro Championship all wrapped up in one foul swoop. So and that only took us 26 minutes. So there we go. Back at it once more here at Bathurst. So yeah, incredible job from these guys. I hope everybody is well. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I'd like to point out as well that at 2:28 in the morning in the UK, I am now officially old. Basically, it's my birthday today, or on Monday, if you're not quite on Monday. So I'm now officially old. So thank you very much for me still being old. Yeah, yeah, great job. So there we go. But you know, is what it is. It happens once every year. We get a little bit older, and we end up having those birthdays. That, you know, look, let's face it, at the end of the day, it happens. And, yeah, I'm now, happy birthday, thank you, Ria. I'm now officially old. I actually did find out earlier on as well when I was talking to Biggles and Alex Goldschmidt, who just did the Chop Shop 200, that I wasn't actually the oldest in the room at that point. Alex was older, I think, or Biggles was older. One of them was older. So I was actually the youngest. So there we go. Another August birthday, yeah. I celebrated my birthday yesterday, which was Sunday, because that's obviously when my family and everything else could come round. So technically, I'm like the king. I've got 2 birthdays, yesterday and today. I tried to tell the missus that as well, and whether or not I was going to get 2 lots of presents. I can't broadcast a response, but let's just say there was a no in there and an off. You know, you figure out the rest of the words there. Philip Wyatt, John Benawalid sweeping through this mountain section. 2.5 minutes remaining. We're going to have the final lap of the race, I believe, coming up. Rafael Blanco out in front. They are going to wrap this one up. And unless he crosses the line, we're going to have one more here. Whether or not that's going to be Blanco getting over the line before that 1:58 marker. I think Barney, unless he backs it off a little bit here, is not waving. So we're going to have one more here before the end of the race. So the penultimate lap, 2 laps to go, and John Benawalid still has lost a place to Philip Wyatt, and Wyatt has got in front of him. We can have a look back and see where that was. I can guarantee that's down the Conrod into the chase. There we go. Philip Wyatt tucks up right behind, picks up the draft, goes shooting past him. Benawalid's got no response. I'm surprised he didn't send it in too wide there, to be fair, but, you know, I don't think there's really a need. So there we go, from John Benawalid and Philip Wyatt. Closest battle on track as we are nearly on that final lap. The leader is coming up through McPhillamy Park now before he goes down into Skyline and then dropping through the dipper there as well. So, yeah, great job from all of these drivers. And, yeah, there you go. Franco Sanchez, your pros. Richard Hearn, your AMs. Champions done. pretty much. As soon as Harmon went out and as soon as Jacqueline hasn't got to grips with Bathurst, you knew it was kind of going to be an issue. So great job from everyone here who has played a part in this 8-race season. So let's see how this now pans out over the last 40 seconds. Rafael Blanco, depending on what sort of run he's had here, whether or not this is going to be the final, or is he going to have to go one more? He can, if he thought about it, run the timeout now, because he's got 3 seconds, crossed the line literally with about 4 seconds to go. So technically for Rafael Blanco, he could back it off a little bit and finish the race at this time. I'm sure he's not, but you know, from our perspective. Is he going to go one more? There we go, Barney's out waving the final. Yeah, there we go, one more lap to go for Blanco. Wyatt and Benawalid swapping places once more on that run down into Murray's. Benawalid got past, Wyatt then had another go and kept the position as they come round on the final lap. This is Benawalid's effort. He got his nose in front. I'm wondering if Wyatt undercut him coming out of the second part. He did. Benawalid went on the grass and Wyatt made it through. So these guys are going to be going once more the final lap of the race. However, John Benawalid has just gone off track in Hell's Corner, and that's allowed Philip Wyatt to run off up the straight. And unfortunately now for Benawalid, he's kind of cemented in the AM. He's got the AM win, but Philip Wyatt sitting in 4th place here as well. So Vizcarra with Sanchez, final time. And these will be your champions, will be Richard Hearn in the AMs, Franco Sanchez in the pros. They did manage 16 laps here. What's happening to Inop and Jacqueline? Why are you swapping places here as well? Inop managed to catch up with Jacqueline. Jacqueline's definitely, he's got no rear wing on there. What has Jacqueline done to give himself no rear wing? Did he lose it here then? How bizarre. Jacqueline's lost his rear wing. And that could explain the pace that he's got at the moment. But Rafael Blanco is going to come round the final corner, take the victory here this evening. Rafael Blanco in first, Vizcarra second, Franco Sanchez in third. 1, 2, 3. Franco does win the Pro Championship. Philip Wyatt coming down into Hell's Corner. He's going to wrap up in 4th place. Benawalid will take the victory in the AMs, but Richard Hearn will be your AM champion. Job done for him. Once more, finishes it off, comes over the line. Well done. Blanco wins the race. Sanchez wins the Pro Championship. Yes, it does. And Richard Hearn takes the AM Championship, CJ, as well. So, great job from these guys. Inop did manage to stay ahead of Jacqueline. Jacqueline's got no rear wing. I'd be interested to find out where that actually went as well. Unfortunately for Joel Jacqueline, he looked like he'd lost his rear wing. So there you go. Benawalid wins in AMs. Hearn wins his 2nd AM Championship of 2023. There you go. Look at you, CJ. You're literally a walking encyclopedia of radical sim racing. So great job from you, and a great job from everybody who took part in this series. Rafael Blanco is your 1st place. Christian Vizcarra in 2nd. Franco Sanchez is your pro winner, with Philip Wyatt in 4th. Jem Benawalid in 5th, and then Richard Hearn is your AMS winner. Andrew Sinop in 7th, Joe Jacqueline 8th, and Eric Harmon in 9th. We have got Richard Hearn in the booth with us. Richard, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm champion here.
Yeah, 2nd time. Obviously, I won it, and then went up to the pros, came back, won it again. This was a little bit tighter as Joel and I went in tied for the points. Wish there was a few more people out there. I know you do too, but it was still a great season.
Oh, excuse me. Oh. coughs and sneezes going on all at the same time, which is quite definitely a complicated thing. Yeah, it was a bit of a light ending. To be honest, for you though, with Bathurst, all you had to really do was keep it on track, didn't you, and finish ahead of Joel.
Yeah, there's a big storm going on around my house right now, so my ping went up to like 1,000, and so I kind of just let those two guys go by. I didn't want to get in the way, but yeah, in the end, I just needed to manage what Joel was doing. Makes it kind of, kind of different type of racing, but that was my goal.
Yeah, I think it was as well. The problem is with Bathurst is if you don't attack Bathurst at times, it can come out and kill you, and I think everybody did a great job in that one. Not for yourself though. Champion wrapped up and done. And it was wrapped up with about 22 minutes remaining as soon as Joel Jacklin made a mistake.
Yeah, I saw him all of a sudden drop way back, and so I kind of just backed myself off. I did want to go challenge those guys, but I had to be smarter about it for sure. Now just kind of looking forward to, the World Finals and that stuff. And, I don't know, maybe next year I might join the Europe side just to have a little more people involved.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you on track there as well. Bless you. Thank you, Ria. Very much appreciated for that. I don't know if you've ever tried coughing and sneezing at the same time. It's really quite complicated. Joe, Richard, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. Great job from you. Congratulations on your AM Championship. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just to you guys. You guys do a great job doing the broadcast, and obviously the organizers, Sandra and all those guys. It's a lot of fun. This car, they did a good job with the setup, changing it. Obviously, we had a problem, or iRacing had a problem, then fixed it. The car's great. I just wish more people would enjoy it like we do.
Yeah, of course. No worries at all there. Richard, thanks so much for joining us there, bud, and congratulations on your AM Championship. I look forward to seeing you in the final.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Take care. Well, there you go, guys. That was Richie Hearn. Apologies for sneezing and coughing at the same time now. I thought I muted my mic, but clearly I didn't. And, yeah, it's definitely an interesting bodily function. But we got Philip Wyatt in the booth for a chat with us. Philip, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
James, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. You?
Yeah, very well. Just wanted to, I didn't put in a stellar performance, but I certainly wanted to jump in and say happy birthday, mate.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Well, I may or may not have had the broadcast on the TV my kids are watching downstairs, watching Daddy race.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you very much.
No problem at all.
I haven't reached the gentle age of 45, Philip, so, a little bit of an old...
Then you and I are the same age, my friend. 1978, I'm also 45.
Yeah, it definitely was there. It was an interesting race for you, though, mate, wasn't it? Battling away with John and having a good old fight.
Yeah. Well, I was late to the party this week. I was in Detroit all week with work and flew in late last night, so I had a day to get this together. I love this track and car combo. I think it just suits itself beautifully, but it can get you unstuck. And I was a bit nervous, to be honest with you, because I knew it was a Richie Joel standoff, so I was qualified in between the two of them and really didn't want to get in anybody's way. But I'd also had a quick look before and saw that maybe with a decent result here, I might make the Worlds and qualify for that, especially as there was a lot of people that didn't show up tonight. So interesting to see the results and what happened, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the season and chatting with you and the team. And again, happy birthday and thanks for doing all you do. I know it's not always easy to hit the go live button when there's not a lot of people knocking on the track, so thank you for doing it.
That's all right, and no problem. At one point, I was a little bit worried when it was only 6. I'm not going to lie, Phil. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
let's make for a lot of action.
No, I know. It's like I said. I don't know how much Superman I would have been able to couldn't do on that one. But there we go. Philip, thank you so much for joining us, bud, and thank you very much for my birthday wishes. Much appreciated to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the Worlds. I think, to be honest, you probably have qualified because Puyol's not here and Benavides is not here, and you are only 24 points back from Benavides. Now, obviously, you finished in 4th place overall, so that gives you you a lovely score. I think it's 44, if I'm not mistaken, on that one. It does. Gives you 44 points, which puts you ahead of Benavides and ahead of Puyo. So you should make it into the Worlds.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great news. And I knew I had work to do tonight, so I just, keep your head down, keep your foot in, and that's been the history of the season. I think I might have overpromised myself with suggesting I'd be in the pros for my first season in the Radical here, but let's see what happens next season. Maybe I'll give the AMs a shot and give Richie and the crew a run for their money there.
Well, I don't know, mate, to be honest, because I've got a funny feeling at the moment, we've taken into consideration you might have actually just finished in 4th place. So,
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so you're not too far.
Dinner.
Absolutely, Phil. But thanks so much there, buddy, and have a great week, dude.
You too, mate. Take care.
Take care. Well, there you go, guys. And that has brought us to the end. Congratulations to Franco Sanchez. Congratulations to Richard Hearn. Great job from them. Racing Peru 1 have wrapped up the pro team standings, and Lima Racing has also wrapped up the AM team standards of Benawalid as well. So great job from everybody. But guys, that's it for now. That's going to round out tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much for everybody that's joined me. I'm off to go and get some sleep before I go and enjoy my birthday with my family tomorrow. But for now, guys, from us up here in the booth, you all take care. Have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.